So, hey, um, the last time we left off, um, Ben had died, and uh, Flambe and Marie were being chased by the Arawaks, and so they finally killed the Arawaks to get away from them. But in the midst of it all, Flambe decided that he wanted to get some from Marie. So that's what happened. And Marie thought she wasn't going to enjoy it at first, but then she realized that she did enjoy it. So, now they're just trying to move across the island. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm still reading Sugar Hill. As you can see, this my copy of this book is so raggedy and it's so old. This book was written before I was born. So, but it's like one of my favorite books. Flambe waited, then pressed the flat of his hand against Marie's back as a signal for her not to move. He crawled out from under the lip of the giant rock and looked over the edge. The natives had been buried by the falling rubble. Here and there were exposed arms clawing at the air or struggling to dig the crushing dirt away from rapidly suffocating faces. He turned and looked up. The mountain was still. Come, Marie. She climbed out and joined him. They were both coated with white, powdery dust, looking like two vagrant spirits. Come on, let's get out of here before the old girl feels like shaking her body again. Are they all dead? Marie asked. Dead or dying. They climbed out of the rocks, holding fast to one another. Don't look. It's not a pretty sight, the captain warned the prostitute. They still calling her a prostitute. After all of this, we like starting to feel some sort of connection to Marie, and they still calling her a prostitute. Except they calling her a prostitute with the W. Um, they crawled over the stones to a field of molasses grass at the edge of the swamp and ran until breath gave out. When they stopped, they held on to each other and sucked the air into their lungs. Marie looked over Flambe's shoulder and saw a familiar sight. Look, she cried, there's the donkey. Well, after all that, Ben died and they got chased by natives and the donkey is there. Flambe, careful not to frighten the beast, crawled slowly through the grass and grabbed it by its reins. Marie, you climb on and ride. He's so nice to her. He helped her up on the donkey's back, and together they began their new journey toward Montego Bay and their future. Late in the afternoon, they encountered a rushing stream, washed themselves, and sought shelter between a giant umbrella tree that was surrounded by a natural garden of orchids. The night was spent locked in a sexual embrace, an affirmation of life rather than a declaration of love. So that is the end of chapter 3. Um, I think that is it's just wild how they went through this whole ordeal And in the middle of it and at the end of it, they had to give in to their carnal desires. So that's my favorite book. And I will be back with chapter 4.